Welcome to today's session on implementing competitive strategy, an essential element of strategic management. In this episode, we'll discuss how firms bring strategy to life through specific competitive actions, the factors that drive these actions, and how stakeholders and information can be leveraged to shape outcomes. Let's begin by defining what competitive strategy implementation really means. Competitive strategy is about achieving and sustaining a superior market position, while high-level positioning, such as being a cost leader or differentiator, sets the direction. It's the actions firms take that make strategy real. These actions include price cuts, new product launches, marketing campaigns, supply chain improvements, and strategic alliances. Let's talk about the two main types of competitive actions, strategic and tactical. Strategic actions are major, long-term, and resource-intensive. They change a firm's position in the market. For example, when Amazon entered the Indian e-commerce market in 2013, it was a strategic move. It required billions in investment and new infrastructure. Or take Microsoft's acquisition of LinkedIn in 2016. It wasn't just about owning a social network, it was about integrating professional data across Microsoft's entire ecosystem. Another example is Tesla building its own gigafactories to produce batteries. That's vertical integration, a strategic decision to control a key part of the supply chain. Now, tactical actions, on the other hand, are short-term and often reversible. They respond to immediate competitive pressures. Imagine Uber offering promotional discounts when Lyft cuts fares, or Spotify launching a new curated playlist after a feature update from Apple Music. These are tactical. They happen frequently, often at the business unit level, and they don't typically require major changes to a firm's strategy. What drives firms to take these competitive actions or respond to others? There are four main drivers. First, firm-specific capabilities and resources. A company with deep R&D, strong finances, or proprietary technology is more likely to launch bold moves. Tesla's early lead in electric vehicles, for example, came from its engineering talent and control over battery tech. Second, market dependence. If a firm relies heavily on one segment, it's more likely to defend that territory. When Beyond Meat entered fast food partnerships, Tyson responded with its own plant-based line to protect its protein market share. Third, strategic stakes and competitive intensity. If the risks or opportunities are high, firms move fast. Nokia's failure to respond to Apple's iPhone despite its dominance shows how misjudging strategic stakes can lead to decline. Fourth, reputation and retaliation. Some firms build reputations for aggressive responses. Think of Southwest Airlines, which quickly counters any pricing threat on its routes. That reputation alone can deter rivals from attacking. Now let's look at how firms predict attacks and responses. Two important concepts help: market overlap and resource similarity. Market overlap, also called market commonality, is about how much two firms compete in the same spaces. More overlap often means more potential for conflict, but sometimes also mutual restraint. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi compete in many of the same markets, but don't always escalate pricing wars because of the risk of retaliation. Resource similarity is how comparable two firms are in terms of capabilities. Airbus and Boeing have similar R&D, production, and global reach, so they can match each other's moves quickly. If two firms have high overlap and high resource similarity, they're more likely to engage in sustained rivalry. Netflix and Disney Plus, for instance, became direct competitors as soon as Disney entered streaming with comparable content and scale. Next, we turn to information-based competition. Today, information is a strategic asset. Firms use strategic disclosure, press releases, ESG reports, or even social media to shape perceptions. For example, Tesla regularly emphasizes its innovation and sustainability credentials. At the same time, Elon Musk often calls legacy automakers dinosaurs, subtly undermining their image. Apple did something similar by launching its privacy features with strong messaging. This positioned Apple as a consumer protector, while damaging Meta's reputation, which depends on data-driven ads. Finally, let's explore the role of stakeholders in supporting competitive strategy. Stakeholders aren't just bystanders, they're assets. Here are a few examples. Customers can act as evangelists. Think of Peloton's loyal user base spreading the word and reinforcing its community-driven edge. Employees are critical for execution. Trader Joe's employees, empowered and engaged, help deliver its unique customer experience. Suppliers and partners can be co-innovators. Apple's tight partnerships with Foxconn and TSMC enable fast, high-quality product launches. Investors can push or restrain strategy. Activist investors like Elliott Management helped push eBay to spin off PayPal, a move that unlocked value for both firms. Regulators and communities can be gatekeepers. Uber learned this lesson the hard way and had to adapt its approach in many markets to gain acceptance. In summary, implementing competitive strategy means translating abstract positions into concrete, timely, and deliberate actions. Whether through pricing moves, product launches, or reputation management, the key is execution and aligning those actions with both internal capabilities and stakeholder support.